Okay, now for a rabbi to be introducing, commercials about clams and lobsters, it's a little out of character, but
yes.
it's your work, and I like it anyways. And I don't have to eat them. I can
That's
just
true.
listen to them. So let's hear about the radio voices. Let's roll that now, all right?
Volcanic on the outside, oozing with red, fruity lava juice on the inside. A fruity burst that's
Pretty hysterical.
so good you'll grunt,
Gushers good.
new Jurassic Gushers. They're here. Lennox Lewis has class. In 30 fights, he's been outclassed just once. In a shocker to Oliver McCall. If you could read everyone's thoughts and twist them, control them, cripple them, you would be the most powerful human alive.
In the game of espionage, there are no rules, no safety, no way out.
All right. Now, you participated in the Darien High School, and that was a career night, was it?
Yeah, what happens is for about the 6th year, I've been participating in Darien. It's actually the middle school. It's called Middlesex Junior High School.
Okay.
Middlesex Middle School, sorry. And for all the 8th graders are asked to choose from a panel of people who will show up on a Friday morning and agree to share their experiences and tell what work life is like in their own particular jobs to a group of 8th grade students. So the 8th grade students are given a list early on. They choose the 4 or 5 people they want to listen to, and they're shuttled to the classes. And I happen to be luckily in a music room, which is a lot of fun for me.
You probably get a lot of people coming to yours.
Yeah, that's pretty. Mine's packed every time. Yeah. And whatever good that is. Unfortunately, there's people in the Peace Corps who don't have, there's nobody showing up for them, so that's kind of a sad thing.
You should do the voices for the Peace Corps.
Yeah, to the Peace Corps, yeah. So I just explained to what the job is like and what it entails and how serious it is. Even though it may look like I have a lot of fun, it's a lot of work and it's a lot of commitment and it's a lot of attention and focus and a lot of rejection, and it's a very difficult, and you have to have a tremendous amount of passion, and you have to be born with a certain amount of talent.
Yes.
And matter of very fact, very few people who are actually decide to do it just because they think it'd be a good idea can really succeed. You have to be born. It's one of these kids that grows up and their families are saying, so and so, little Johnny does voices around the house and he does this and he sings and he plays the guitar and he picked up a violin and he learned to play. Those are the people who usually succeed.
They're going to do it.
And that's how you do it.
You're not going to graduate from voiceover school and make it.
No.
You could learn some things, but it's really a God-given talent.
Right. It's a God-given talent.
Now you have a wide variety of sound and hue in your voice. You have the low.
Yes.
And you could use the head voice. And we use that in the cantorial. Like. This kind of sound, that we use the head voice for. A lot of the blues artists and the soul people, they touch, the high note with a more of a head voice. Then they don't go in with a, with all the bass and
the operatic, the full-throated voice, the chest voice they call it. Yeah.
These are like decisions that artists make, like Neil Young. You hear him talk; he talks slow. But when he sings, it's like "Hello, cowgirl in the sand." He's singing
very nasal. Yeah.
Singing on that head voice. It's quite almost like a rock and roll counter tenor.
Yeah, he's an interesting individual in that many songwriters in the rock world, if you want to call it that, have now sold their products or their songs. Sold their songs to products. No matter how big they are. Bob Dylan has done that. Sting has done it. The Beatles, Michael Jackson have all sold their material to go. But Neil Young has never, as yet, and says he will never.
Heart of Gold? I thought Heart of Gold was used for something.
No.
No? Okay.
Couldn't have been.
Okay.
He's never sold. There's probably something that sounds like that. Or a lot of times, what they will do is they will create a tune. They'll have a writer create a tune that sounds. You think it's that tune, but it's not that tune.
Oh, okay.
And oftentimes, an artist will sue if they're asked to do it.
Too close. If
it's close enough, they can be sued, and they can. So that has happened before. Yeah.
Now you're doing some interesting work now with the shoe, Dr. Shoe. When you explain this to the young children, the middle schoolers, do you explain the process in the studio, what's involved in the production, the editing, the business decisions, all of these things? If you could share a little bit with us.
Yeah, well, I have to, first of all, the project is conceived of by a creative department in an advertising agency with the support of the product, whether it's a Pepsi-Cola or a Dr. Scholl's or or Hellmann's mayonnaise, and they come up with an idea, a twist that will cause us to be interested in the product. Some little twist, comedy. Often comedy really works very, very, very well. Comedy works very well because people are very entertained by it. So, but this is a long process, and it's done by writers, musicians, technicians, artists, people who have to create illustrated boards.
Yes.
And they call animatics sometimes. An animatic is a very mocked up thing, which it looks like it's animated, but it's not. It's just like little still pictures that are put together with animation in the early stages. So, and then once the idea is accepted by everyone, they go into full production. So I'm just part of that little niche. So right now, so they asked me to perform voices for these products, and if they like the idea, if they like, if it's all working out for them, and they give them the feeling, whether it's musically entertaining or whether it's comedically entertaining, they'll go for that. In some cases, it's very serious. A lot of these guys you hear in the trailers for these movies, this movie has not been rated, on Friday, go to this movie. And you're supposed to sound like it's this gravitas of an orator, a Charlton Heston kind of a guy. So that's a whole other feeling. So they go for all these different feelings. Or sometimes it's promo, tonight on Nickelodeon, don't go away, Nickelodeon will be right back. So they want you to have different feelings
That's
for
a promo.
all. And all these things have different attitudes.
What about sexy voice? You ever do a sexy voice?
Well, probably some. Usually, I did one for Gillette. And you know the feeling. Every guy's had it.
That's you?
Yeah, that's me. Yeah, for the Gillette commercial. Yeah.
I just saw it yesterday.
Yeah, did you? Yeah. They're still playing.
Wow.
That was actually a Super Bowl commercial.
That's a great commercial.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Some of these things are on your website. What is your website, by the way?
Yeah, my website is franksimms, SIMMS.net.
Okay.
www.franksimms.net. Yeah, and you can see a lot of my commercials and cartoon voices and the Kool-Aid Man. There's clips of the Kool-Aid Man and voiceovers and pictures and all sorts of items.
Fabulous. Well, it's really been a treat having you here.
It's been a great time.
Thanks a lot, Frank.
Thank you, so.
Come anytime.
I will, thank you.
Nothing anyone can say. You're with me now, and as long as you stay, loving you's the right thing to do. Loving you's the right thing. Loving you's the right thing. I know you've had some bad luck with ladies before. You drove them or they drove you crazy. But more important is I know the one, and I'm sure loving you's the right thing to do. Loving you's the right thing. Loving you's the right thing. Oh, and if you
Come share the wisdom with Rabbi Rock. Rabbi Rock is moving hearts and minds, promoting a vision of world peace and reconciliation. As inspired by eternal Jewish wisdom throughout education, dialogue, intellectual, and cultural exchange. Culture, politics, spiritual programs, the arts, and making the world a better place. Rabbi Rock, weekly on Public Access Cable Station.